Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? Thursday night, evening, might be your mornings, depending on where you are. Welcome back to Deep Dive. We have a great show tonight. Got a homie here in the space that's been doing some great things. Many of you that are here watching or have been part of communities that I've been part of probably already know him. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce the one and only Fawkes. Yo, what's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How you doing tonight?
Doing well, doing well. Took some time off of work to show up. Excited to be here and excited to I've never done one of these, so I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Hey man, we're just gonna have a casual conversation, and I'm just gonna kind of pick your brain a little bit about your Web3 journey. Just because I've seen you do such great things in the space for so many other people. You're helping a lot of communities, including your holders to the projects that you're part of. So just kind of want people to know about you and hear your story a little bit. Maybe you'll inspire a few people to want to do what you're doing.
Oh, it's a lot of work, but it's fun. It's fun and rewarding. It really is. It has its moments, but I have to say it's 98% positive.
Yeah, and we were talking before the show, man, and hearing that you got the family and the job. I mean, I don't know how you balance it, man. Props to you even more for being able to balance in real life with Web3 as busy as you are with Web3. Because I like I said, I see a lot of things you do because I'm behind the scenes with a lot of the jelly stuff. So I see like what you're doing with Soul Suite and stuff like that, man. It's impressive, very impressed. But so without
Yeah,
further
it's a
ado,
lot of
man,
work.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know it's a lot of work. So let's start with like how did you find Web3? Like what brought you here? Like what got you saying I want to check this out? Like let's hear about that a little bit.
So actually, I love this story. It's one of my favorites. Me and my co-founder Dio. We worked together. And so we were at work one day, he's talking and he mentions how he made
Oh, did we lose you? Not there you are. I think we lost you a little bit. Can you hear me,
it
folks?
muted me. Yeah, now can you hear me?
Oh yeah, wait, I hear you.
Yeah,
Sorry
it
about
auto
that.
muted me.
Yeah, it was
My
weird.
AirPod quickly disconnected, reconnected, and it auto muted me. So sorry about that.
You're good. So you and Dio, you work together.
Yeah, yeah. So me and Dio, we worked together and he says, "Hey, I just made like I can't remember, it's like $2,000, 3,000 flipping Baby Ape Social Club." So I'd never been in NFTs in my life, and I'm at work with him, and he's talking about how he just made all this money off of Baby Ape Social Club, and he had a stoned ape, and they were at like 100 Sol floor, back when Sol was like $200. So, anyways, he was doing really, really, really well in the space, and so he was telling me about it, and I was like, all right, how do I start? How do I get in? Right? So Dio helps me set up a wallet, helps me again, Solana's around $200, helps me load up about $1,000 worth of Solana, and he tells me not to mint anything that he knows about this really hype mint that he thinks gonna soar. And so it was a point 0.7 Sol mint, but it was cheeky chimps. And so they minted out, they're completely sold out. They pumped to 2 Sol floor, so they went from point 0.7 to 2 Sol. Dio's like, hold, hold, hold. He taught me the holder mentality from the start. So I held, and then they rugged. And so I could have got out with a nice profit, but I held to a rug. Like I stuck true to it. So anyways, Dio was one of the more active ones in the Cheeky Chimp Discord server and made connections with Metaversal. They're long gone. It's crazy. A lot of the people that we started with when this happened was they're like no longer in the ecosystem. But we were working with Metaversal, and they're like, "Hey, we'll help you guys if the community wants to together and fix this. We'll help you bring it back." And so we're like, "All right, cool. We found developers." And so Dio reached out to me. He goes, "Hey, do you want to be a mod in the server?" He's like, "You can just hang out and be active." I said, "Yeah, sure." So it didn't take long for that mod role to evolve into, "Hey, we're doing this together" role. So that's really how I ended up getting into Web3 and how time traveling chimp started. Is I came in and was like, "Man, I'm out all this money. You got to be kidding me! Like that's not cool. Like it is what it is. Like I knew the risks, but like man, that sucks. Like, no, I'm not gonna let this happen. Like, let's do this. Like, so we worked with Metaversal. They were doing art for us. They were doing dev work. They were doing all this stuff. But like, I felt like some of the stuff they were promising, like the original Mint was that you were supposed to be able to go into the metaverse, go to a DeLorean time machine, sit in it, and you would see yourself punch in time, and then you would travel in the metaverse and you'd rescue your NFT. So that was how, again, how they sold it to us. That never happened. So they wanted 50% of everything from the Mint. So they wanted us to build the community, us to start and manage everything. They would just handle the dev work and the art, but they wanted 50%. And so we are like, okay. And the dev work was only going to include staking. So we ended up getting to a point that we're like, no, 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 we don't want to do that. Like 50% is too much. They're like, well, you're not going to have art, you're not going to have a developer. Okay, bet. Like I make connections really quick. So we were able to get a connection with T3 from MetaDrago. And he had W3 Consultancy at the time with like a bunch of other people, like Cookies and a bunch of like the OG MetaDrago group. And so T was the one that derugged MetaDrago and took it to like 15, 16 Sol at the time. And so we worked with them and they helped us get everything done. Our artists did our art. We got the art done. We did a reveal mint. So it was a fun mint. You minted a DeLorean. And then you were able to send your DeLorean back into time on a rescue mission to actually rescue your chimp. So like it was a fun interactive experience. So like I don't know if reveal mints were like big, but like I think back like, man, all these reveal mints, and I feel like that wasn't the meta when we started. It wasn't like normal to do a reveal mint. It was you mint and you saw. And so we were like, I felt like one of the first in the group to do that. And it was really cool. And so we minted out. We didn't mint out. We were actually set to be a 0.88 mint. We didn't mint out. We had a connection because of T being part of Taio Robotics. We had a connection there, and they said, Rev, who's in Taio, said, I'll call you if you drop your mint price to 0.25. I'll call you in Taio. So we were called in Taio Robotics at a 0.25 mint, and we sold out in like 30 seconds. As soon as we were called in Taio, like the counter just went zoot and we were gone. It was like a crazy experience to finally sell out. But yeah, so my Web3 journey, to answer your question, started with a derug, and we've gone through so many iterations of so much stuff throughout the process. Like my Web3 is the reason I'm able to do so much, I feel, is because I was thrown in and I had to figure it out and I turned something successful. We're at a 0.25 mint and now we're sitting at a 2.53 Sol floor price. So like we're 10 times already. Like, and I'm still building. Like I have so much stuff on the agenda. We have so many new things coming. It's insane. Like I'm excited. But yeah, it's been a fun journey.
Yeah, and I see some people in the crowd saying we love Fawkes. Little crown here for you. Got some of your homies here, man. Nothing but love for you, man. Like I said, I've seen your work. I've seen what you're doing. And even got the project in here. Your own projects in here. Hey, I know this guy. I hope you guys know this guy. Is this the real Fawkes? Please let me know.
No, that's actually Dio on that account. So
no, but I'm asking him if you're the real one.
Oh.
Make sure I'm.
Yeah, you can. Dio can confirm that. He's seen me before. I don't think I've doxed to the community. So this is also like my first big doxing to the community. I think I posted one photo like in Stoned Ape stuff a while back, but yeah, I don't think I've doxed. I see you. I love. You wanted your name called out. You're active. I always see you around. How's it
Hey,
going?
you know what? That's crazy. Like with the coders, that's what we're trying to do, man. We want to change the space where people get to know us. Like you know what we look like, you hear us talk, and then when we're talking to you in Discord, you can see us. You know what I mean? In your head, you're just like in
Yep.
real
You
life.
put that visual.
Yeah, and you know us. You feel more comfortable with us, and you feel like we're homies, like we're family. And I feel like that's the where we need to bridge the communities we moving forward. I feel like it's necessary for us to stop hiding behind JPEGs all the time. We're people. We are people. But
We are.
yes,
We're people that like art. We love it.
yeah,
Yo, Romo, man, Soul Spot. That's been a minute. Yeah, that
yes.
that was that was a. still
He's
have your stuff. I still carry your cards. So,
he's an OG with us, man. He's been with us with Decoder since day one. Nothing but
oh,
love for,
nice.
yeah, man. The Soul Spot team has been one of our big supporters right from the beginning. Nothing but love for those guys, man. We had them on. They're probably like one of our first like 10 shows within there. Back in the day when we were building, we didn't know what we were doing. We were just pushing buttons, talking on camera. It was like
We're gonna
it
get
was
it
like
figured out.
Zoom. It was like a broadcast, a Zoom call back when we started. But yeah, man, nothing but love for it. We have some really, really cool people in the community, and that's another reason why I wanted to bring you on here, Fawkes, because you've done a lot of things. Like you said, you started with, like we all have started. You need to start with being rugged. If you're not started that way in this space, you're going to be too comfortable, and you don't want to be that comfortable here. You want to get rugged. You want to lose money. You want to be like, what the hell am I doing? You might even want to quit and come back, because usually that helps too. But um, so you started this, and now what you just talked about was at the beginning of time
Mhm.
traveling, right? Because it's
Yep.
funny because how it was pitched to you, and then like I know what you guys do, and I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, this all makes sense now. The adventures, it all makes sense. You guys just took the idea and you actually built it out to
Yeah.
be what it should have been, even though it
Mhm.
wasn't in the beginning. So
Yep.
that's awesome to see. If you guys aren't familiar with time traveling, definitely check them out. Definitely doing some cool stuff. And I want to kind of talk about the other thing that you're doing, because not only are you a project founder, but you also founded Flux, which maybe you can explain a little bit the processes and the uh, the technology behind what you guys created with that and what it does for a lot of communities. Because a lot of people in here might not know who you are, but I guarantee you they've seen Flux in a server.
So yeah, flexibility was actually. I want to share the story behind that. I don't know. I
Please
think
do,
it's
man. This is
another
all
great
about you,
story.
man. I want to hear it.
Uh,
Let's hear it.
so when we first started this, as I said, we were a DJ Mint. We were able to work out with a consultant company that we paid for a lot of our services after Mint. So a lot of our Mint funds, it paid for art after Mint. It paid for the dev work for staking after Mint. Like it paid for so much stuff. And so at that point in time, I was new, and Carlos was a big name at the time. And so I started and I'm like, okay, how do I get in touch with these people? Like they're obviously making waves in this space. So my thought was, how do I get in touch with the people that do certain things? So I was looking around, and because our funds were so tight, we didn't want to spend a lot of money on utility. But at the time, I saw that Carlos, because we had Plutonium with Plutonium X, which is what our token, and we're like, I need something to do with this. Like, we need a game. We need something because they're staking right now and we don't have any utility. And so I saw Carlos sign up with Soul Secret Space Society. Yeah, SSS, Secret Space Society. And they had a raid to earn system that Carlos was using. And so they offered that to us for 5 Sol. We couldn't at the time just pull the trigger on it, so we took it to the community to vote. So are we going to go with just a basic like raid to earn? And I even asked Carlos about it. Carlos said it was down a lot, like half the time it didn't work, or it wouldn't pull a winner and it had some errors and bugs. And so that's another thing. I was like, do we spend 5 Sol on something like this? um, and so at the time we took it to a vote, and one of our community member goes, oh, I can build that. Like, wait, what? They're like, yeah, don't spend money. I can build that for you. And like, we can build our own. And then we're like, wait, you can build that. If he's in here, is Stealth Gecko. He is our Fluxtility Wizard, is what he is called. He's called the Flux Wizard. That guy can work magic with Discord and JavaScript, like no joke. So Fluxtility did start as a raid to earn, but we couldn't afford the adventure system at the time. So we worked out a percentage deal with Stealth for every, and we sold it as a one-time fee of like I think 5 Solana, 6 Solana, and 7 Solana with different features because we expanded. Like we saw what SSS did, and we expanded from that. We made it not just a raid bot, but something that was like I've seen in the chat, like we like to call it the Swiss Army knife of Solana. Like it does so much for you and your community. And so we added the ability for like tipping, to where you can transfer NFTs, to where you can set up raffles. Like we just like, what can you do? Like, what do projects struggle with? Because back at the time, like everyone was going to Solo Land for a raffle site and having to pay 30, 40 Sol for a raffle site. So like, if we built all this and just put it in Discord, their holders are the one they're wanting to cater these raffles to. Like, why do they need to spend all this money on a site? Let's give them to right in Discord. We did on-chain giveaway, on-chain raffle. Like we just put all of this stuff right into a handy little tool along with the rating and with the tipping feature so you could transfer and send. And then the other thing that we wanted to do, it just took time, was peer-to-peer trading. And so you can now set up a trade and securely and safely trade NFTs right through Discord. And it's phenomenal. It's such a smooth experience. Um, it's a few commands. You can choose if you want Sol with Sol. You can do more than 3 NFTs. So that's like one of our other things. I know like with FFF, with PNFTs, you only can do 3. You can actually I think do up to 5 or 6 with ours. So it allows for a larger trade to take place. So like ever from the very beginning, our goal is how do we provide tools to communities that are starting at a fair and equal price. And that's how everything that we built kind of works. Is it's designed, it has different pricing points with different fee structures to kind of cater to each project, all the way down to that project that may have been a DJ mint and has barely any funds. And like we even offer trials of our services. So if you jump into Score and say, hey, like your tools look awesome, can we set up some sort of trial? 100%. Like, let's show you what we built. Now, I'll even help you along the way, hold your hand, and we'll show you how to achieve success. And so, like for us, that's everything we've been doing. We have a few, like I said, we have the adventure utility that's a white label, but we're having it kind of transformed into our own thing. Fluxtility, there's a lot of bots out there, but we've been able to add verification. We've added peer-to-peer trading. We have a floor price checker. We have a wheel. So like if you don't want to go to a website and spin like a wheel, you can literally run a command and spin a wheel with all of your holder names on it, like for contests. Like we'll run rumbles, 10 names on a wheel, spin it, they get a trait, stuff like that. Great tool to really engage with your community. Again, it does have raid to earn. It's got on-chain giveaways and raffles, off-chain giveaways and raffles. So, I mean, there's so much. God, what else? The tipping feature. It's not really a tipping feature. It's like an in Discord wallet. So you have a wallet in Discord where you can buy into these raffles without having to link your external wallet to it. You can set your external wallet. So if we ever send you anything or you ever win anything, it goes there. But it's really a great tool.
Yeah, I could speak from a user experience real quick on some of these traits and things that you're talking about. How efficient it is in the server, because legit, I like to give things away. I'm one of those people. I'd like to give things away. So for me, I can just send it to their Discord wallet. I don't have to ask for a wallet and stuff like that. And I used to do it. I used to use it a lot in other servers. In decoders, we haven't really set much up now because we're just focused on mint. And after post mint, I'm sure, we'll set up some things, maybe even talk to you guys about setting Flux up. Who knows? We do have a crazy dev team that can pretty much do like what your devs do and build things that we need. So, but I also want to say, another thing I want to touch on is that community aspect of what you said. You had a community member just stand up and say, "Hey, I can do it. Let's do this." And I think people miss that in really good, like when you have good founders and good project leads, for your community to stand up and say, "I want to help. Let me be a part of this. Let's do this." That shows and speaks for the person that's leading the project themselves. So that's commendable, man. That's awesome to hear. Like to hear the beginnings. Like I've known about you guys, but I never heard about the beginnings. I don't know any of this stuff, so I'm loving hearing it, man. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the show, because what all this value that you're providing, not just to your community and all these other communities, man, is special. And I just want to commend your whole team for it, because you guys are kicking ass. And big props. I see the $10 USD there from Time Traveling Chimps. I appreciate that. Decoders appreciates that. Thank you guys so much for that. But
Of course, of course.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
he's trying to make sure I don't spill alpha. He wanted to make sure you saw that.
Yeah, don't drop too much out. I'm getting bribed. Well, I mean,
You are.
It's like, how much does the alpha really cost?
Yeah.
No, see, I would rather you give that money back to your holders. I appreciate it, but at the same time, like,
Oh, we
I
give a lot to our holders.
I
We
could
we
cut
give.
off the mic. I can just turn his mic off.
No, that's the other thing. It's in the same spirit. Like my goal is to give as much back to our holders. Like we got lucky with rascals, and we were able to score a few of them. And so Fluxtility is actually what allowed us to build everything, believe it or not. Like we were selling Flux to communities and stacking our vault and stacking our vault. And then we were able to drop 8K on our Adventure platform. That 8K turned into 15K to get it upgraded and get it improved. But we were able to do that selling Flux. And so a lot of what we've done, we put back into dev work. Same thing with like ventures and connecting with communities. Like I now work really closely with PFO. I work closely with Carlos. I work. We're now working with. I work with Shredded Apes as a co-owner there. But what really is taking place is I've been able to help position our community in a place to where it makes the right connections to move forward. And I think that's one of the biggest things about Web3. And sometimes it's hard to keep growing those connections, but the more that you can make and the more consistency, like the quicker it happens. And so, like, I work really closely with Drax as well. I was just talking with Drax over at FFF about a few ideas I had for his token market and stuff that I think would be really cool if they could implement. And so, just throwing some ideas his way. And so for me, I think it's important that you give back. Most of our funds go back into development to further and improve the utilities for the project. We created the Soul Suites adventure platform. That way, it was completely set up to where anyone that joins Soul Suites has a utility right out the gate. And they also get access to Flexibility over there as well. So again, perks that we're offering to other communities, that way they can help grow their, even their what like consultant firms and stuff like that. So like my goal has always been to build something that echoes across the blockchain, that actually like like you said, if you've probably seen Flux in a server, if you don't know where it comes from, we're the team behind it. It really, it's been a fun experience doing this and getting to work with the people that I work with on a daily basis. Um, yeah, I can't tell you how great it is, and a lot of what's done, like, I know I'm painted as the founder, but, I know nothing about Twitter. Triggerman is our Twitter guru, handles it all. I'm not an artist. I don't do our graphics. That's Dio, on the other side of things. He also, is the liaison for our artists because we do seasonal traits, and random traits as well for our collection. And so the team really makes a huge impact as well. And it really is our entire team that's helped us continue and progress. It's our community. It was,
Yeah.
I didn't have hire people. I didn't look for a resume. Who feels comfortable doing what? And let's make this work. And the team showed up. And like I still have people like, oh, I'll help. We have there's a group of, they're like, I call them the elite TTCC, but they're the SEALs. They're the Rangers. They're the PJs. Like we have an elite group that are building this sub DAO, and they're really killing it. They I think their vault, like they're building a vault and amassing a vault to help build utility. I think that them alone are sitting around $3,000 just in their vault for further utility and for development. And that's just the sub DAO, like from a small project. Like we're not D gods. Like I wish we were. We'll get there, but like soon it'll be millions and not thousands. And that's the dream, right? Is to be able to amass that and build that. But I see it happening as long as we're consistent as a team and we keep working together. We, I know they keep telling me not to share alpha, but
It's all right. You can drop a little bit. I
okay,
mean,
a little bit. Maybe
for the
don't
people,
be
I
too
mean,
mad.
this is recorded, but people got to find it. They got to go look for it,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
good to have it out there. So there are some other big ventures that we're working on in the background. I know we've talked about our arcade. We're working on getting that moving in a quicker pace. So there's so much more that we're doing, and there's going to be there's going to be other opportunities and ways to enter into TTCC. And the reason I say that is we did a lost chimp mint to communities. The one I was telling you about before, the space where that community kind
Yeah.
of just jacked all of our stuff. So we did a mint. I wanted to expand our collection because we were only a 3,000 collection. Like it's small. And I was like, I feel like we can do something fun, something I've never seen on the blockchain. We're going to do lost chimps, which is a tagged fur. It's a background, eyes, mouth, like ones that aren't in the collection. We got Dio, you're
I know.
killing me.
I know the chat's
Uh,
great.
yeah, I love it. I love it.
They're gonna
And
find their
so,
way to Florida to pull the plug on the stream from my end.
oh, don't do that. Dio's close to you if you're in Florida.
Yes, I'm
He'll
in
do it.
Central Florida, Dio, just south of Ocala. Come get
Uh,
me.
you- but, so no, we did lost chimps. They were their own design. They weren't meant to be pretty, but we allowed communities like Jelly, Stoned Ape, a bunch. I think we had 30 communities. We allowed them to mint in their native token. And then we burned that token for them. So TTCC made no profit off of this mint. That was essentially a way for us to expand our collection. And so we took and we burnt all the tokens and we had lost chimps. And so it was another way for people to enter TTCC. Well, we're working on our adventure system. We're removing the nothing. So in the TTCC platform, you will no longer win nothing. You'll win what is called stash points. And so those stash points will build up across your chimps as you go on adventures. It's actually in your chimps metadata. You'll be able to go to a site and spend those stash points. You'll spend them on trait packs, or it's like trait booster packs. You'll spend them on traits. You'll spend them on various things on the site that we decide to release. And so just know that there will be a way for others to enter in as a lot of these things fall into place as we free up some of the things as this is getting built. It's allowing us to move forward and do other things. So just if you're looking for an entry, our floor is still a good price. But we are doing more. Just know there's a lot more coming, and there'll be other ways to interact and partake in our. I guess I share. We're already doing it. It starts Friday. I guess it's not too much alpha. Most of the community knows. So we polled So Dead, or polled 4 communities. So Dead won. They're going to get to use our tools. They're in our Discord. They have a role. They can see all of our utility. So it's really cool. So we're looking at ways to kind of bring other projects to see what we're doing in a very unique way. Same thing with Lost Champs, expanding in a unique way. My goal is let's not do it like everyone else. Let's not. So we actually hired a sales team. The reason I say this and the reason we took a different approach is we hired a sales team and we gave them a really good commission rate if they could help push our product. They came back and they haven't sold anything in 3 weeks. And so I'm like, maybe we're going about this the wrong way. Because a lot of the screenshots that they sent me were just no, just stop. Like, you don't even know what you're saying no to. You're saying no to someone asking if you're willing to listen. And so my thought process was, okay, well, everyone's obviously doing this. We took the idea from Juice Vendor because that's what they're doing. Like, they're just spamming Discords. So we stepped back and Dio actually had the idea, but we took and said, hey, we're going to challenge a community. Whatever community wins gets access to all of our stuff. And we'll let them go on an adventure. And we sweep their floor. So we swept up 10 Sodeds at the time. We spent 25 soul. They're now around 3 soul floors. So it's at 30 soul in value. So already a profit there for the communities to have a chance at. But we got some of their traits, bought some of their LP token. It's all been loaded up into Adventure. I actually created the Adventure today and it's set to go live tomorrow. So I'll be dropping an announcement on this adventure and telling the story behind it, which is something that we always do with our adventures. So yeah, again, just being a part of TTCC, you'll always see something different, something expanded on, and not just, oh, you're going to market, you're going to go have a bunch. No, I want to bring them in. Let's show them. Let's give them that real world experience of what we do, and I'll cover the prizes. I'll foot the bill to show them what it's like. And so, yeah, again, we have a lot of fun stuff coming, and I like to do things differently, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that you're helping not just your community but so many other communities here. It's impressive, man. Your whole team is really doing some great work in this space, man. And like I said, I can't say it enough how much I commend teams like yours that work this way in this space, because this space is full of just toxic, greedy grifters and don't give a fuck about nobody. So that's why, like, when I find people running under the radar, like, you are over here building Flux with your team, building, the community at TTCC. Now you're part of Shredded Apes, and seeing you just expand. You're in the Jelly team with me. And I see what you're doing with Soul Sweet. So I mean, it's impressive, man. I love it. I love to see it, man. We need more people like you and your team, and just the positiveness that you're bringing. So I love it, man. But I want to touch base now. Now. Let's just get it straight. So you started TTCC with Dio, and
Mhm.
you built the team from the community pretty much. You guys built Flux out of that, and then now you're co-owner of Shredded Apes. How did that come about? Do you mind expanding on, like, where your entry, like, were they
Yeah.
homies? Like,
Uh,
what made you want to
actually,
take on another projects? What I'm getting at, like, where did you want to say, let me juggle something else in this mix? Because you seem already busy.
people say I'm stupid, I guess.
I wouldn't say stupid.
I've had holders call me out. No, I honestly had a holder call me out on it, telling me that he feels that I stepped back from TTCC because I've taken on Shredded Ape. So, uh, which I kindly have to disagree with. I respect my holder's opinion, but uh, if they didn't know, I was helping in run Jelly Adventures. I was helping set up and build Soul Suites. I've also been helping Syndicure build what's known as the Void, which is going to offer some great services to projects as well. He handles our trait swapping. But I've been doing so much that adding on a small other piece was nothing. It's like once you get into a rhythm and into a flow and you organize your day in such a manner that everything gets the attention it deserves. Like, I'm still in TTCC every single day. I'm still talking with my team. I'm still brainstorming ideas. Like, we just had an hour and a half long staff call the other day. The staff know what's coming. Like, we're literally building something big. Like, we're expanding in such a large way with what we plan to do. And so there's a lot of stuff going on in the background with TTCC. It's just not stuff that we're ready to release. I have a motto that I follow, and it's I'm not going to release something subpar, and I'm not going to talk about it until I know it's 100%. My community knows me for saying the thing. If I tell you that there's a thing being done, that's what they call it in my community. It just turned out to be the thing. And so you'll hear them say, "What's the thing? What's the thing?" They've slowly started to see what some of them are, but I'll just tell them, "I got it." Like, I'm 90% confident. Let me get to that 100% that I know I can make this happen, and then I'll tell you. But until I know for 100% I can make it happen, I'm not going to share it. And so it may seem like not a lot's going on, but there's a ton, like, so much going on in the background. But so we were looking before Lost Chimps. So you asked me about how Shredded Apes got on my radar. Before Lost Chimps, we were looking to expand our community. Or not Bly, Pengucci and Chew reached out to us because we were actually doing a trait collab with them. We'll do collaborations of traits with projects. There's so much to TTCC, you'll probably hear me go off on a random, oh, we did this. But we did a trait collab with Shredded Apes. So we have two traits. They dual, so if your chimp is wearing either the shredded jacket, the shredded varsity jacket, or the shredded hodler tank top, you can go and stake and you earn our token and their token. Same thing with like our stoned ape, you earn puff with their traits. So again, we created collaborations and built tools to kind of fit those collaborations. So you can dual stake for a token, which is amazing. It makes it easy because we used to airdrop it, which was horrible. Um, but anyways, during that, we got close to the end. I had sent over their share of the adventure funds because of our collaboration. And I said, "Hey, like, how are you guys doing?" Like, I just asked them a real question, like, how, like, you can do with people. How's it doing? How's life? Is everything good? And they're like, actually, no, not really. We don't have the time to run the project anymore, stuff like that. And I said, okay. They're like, would you guys be interested in a call to discuss, maybe a proposal? I said, yeah. So they sent me their number sheet. I looked at their number sheet and I was like, okay, this is what I can do. So I wrote back to them. I wrote out a long proposal because they wanted around $50,000 for the project. At least that's what they told me. And I said, well, I don't have 50 grand lying around to give you. I was like, but here's what I can do. I know I can make this project successful. Let me take over the project. We'll do a seamless, smooth transition. We'll announce that you guys are going to stay on board in the background to help everything to make sure it runs smoothly. You'll still be part of the team and we'll take over at TTCC. My team will come in and we'll handle it all. And what we'll do is you're doing a rebirth. You said all the art for your rebirth's done. We'll give you a percentage of those funds to allow you to accumulate like $20,000. I was like, that's the best I can do. And so they're like, oh, let me think about it. Well, I found out they reached out to PFO, they reached out to Carlos, they reached out to so many projects trying to sell for 50K. And so finally, I guess they couldn't sell it. No one wanted to buy it. And JP, which he used to actually be on the team at TTCC, a long time ago. And then I restructured things and he wasn't on our team anymore, but we never had any animosity or hard feelings. So like I work with JP, who's phenomenal. He handles all the orders over there. He takes care of all the web shop stuff. Like he's amazing. And so I knew him and I asked him, I said, hey, how's it going? I was actually talking because they were going to supply the way Pin and Tube were going to supply the way for our staking. So since they took over for free, so JP and Bly were given the project because they couldn't sell it. And so with them being given the project, I I was watching it closely. I'm like, what's going on with these guys? What are they doing? And I was talking to JP and about the way, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna grab one. So I actually bought Shredded Ape before even um, like being on the team because I was just curious, like, what are they gonna do? Well, I saw what was going on and I reached out and they're like, hey, they're having some issues with something on the dev side. And I was like, hey, I think my developer can help. Well, they ended up being able to pay their current developers to get it fixed, but things just still weren't moving. And so I got on a call with Benny, Bly, and JP, and we started talking. I was like, this is what I would do, and this is how I could help. And so I pitched my proposal and, they thought it over and they came back and they're like, hey, we'd love to have you on board as a team. And so I've been working with them for about 2 months now. And in those 2 months, we've achieved a lot. We've started cleaning up Discord. We have adventures. We have the trait swap coming. We also are doing giveaways of products. We've been doing sales on the product. We just ordered more product because we've sold out of a few of our other products. We're looking at new merch ideas. So there's a lot going on there as well. Like we've really started to ramp up and we've been able to pay off debts. So like JP and Benny had debts where they were spending their own money on the project and it wasn't running itself. That's even for the business side of it. They just wasn't running. It wasn't profitable. We've now been able to turn things around and make Shredded Apes profitable in about 2 months, a little under. And we have so much more dev work being done. We brought in a better staking for them. We have all of their apes being kicked out. So like again, it's all for me. I don't do a lot of like I understand the dev work. I can look at it, I can read it. Like PFO sent me the code for Monet and I've looked at it and gave them feedback and said, hey, yeah, this looks good. Like it looks like you're following X, Y, and Z. So for me, I just don't do the work. I'm more of like the product manager is how I look at myself. Like if you were to look at this as a Web 2 job, I'm just the product manager in both circumstances. Like I just make sure everything runs smoothly. I make sure the art team's working. Dio handles all that. I ask him questions. He gives me updates. I make sure that the Thud, our developer, is building. I make sure everything's good with the trait shop developer. Like I handle all those relationships. I work on making connections with founders. So like we all play our own part, but that's where I kind of see myself as I'm the one that kind of looks at the big picture and then starts moving the pieces together, and we all spin ideas that create this picture. And so it's the same way. It was so awesome to jump on board and have Bly and JP. They're exactly like my Dio and Trig over there. They're on top of things. But we've been working closely with them. So there'll be some alpha on the space tonight if you guys show up to our Twitter space. There'll be
Nice.
some alpha, but we've done a really big collaboration with Shredded Apes, and I'm excited to kind of drop what we've been working on with them.
Yeah, man, it's awesome to hear because, like I said, it's so hard to stay focused on one thing in Web3. So, like you were saying, though, once you get it going and you understand it, it's easy to add to it because you just got a lot of little time. Okay, well, I got to do this for this and then this for this. And you just got to be on top of it. So, once you get that going, man, but your head's still spinning. You're still like, you try to schedule something. Someone's like, hey, can you do this on this thing? And you're just like, I can't even think right now. Let me get back to you. It's
I
like,
think we've all said that. They're like, okay, I'm stepping away. Like we'll be in our manager chat or something. We'll be like, all right, I'm stepping away for 20, 30 minutes, maybe an
yeah.
hour. I can't. Like sometimes we just have to
And also, I got a question:
ease back.
is this true?
Is what?
It
Oh,
says
don't.
monthly pizza drop. What's this about?
Oh yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
like, wait, free pizza?
So,
That's all
yeah,
I saw.
we stole the idea from Burrito Boys. Like they
Yeah,
were doing the
you know
free
what? Tell me, I
burritos.
used to work with them.
Oh, I didn't know that. And so, anyways, yeah, they were given, and so we were like,
Yeah, that's
Dio.
why I was like stoked. I was like, I miss my free burritos and pizza, man. I was an
So
OG in burritos. Jason, the creator, was a homie, and he had another music project that I
oh,
was
that's
in.
awesome.
And I was one of the first people in the server, minted the stuff, made a bunch of money because they like shot up in price, and then his team left them. So me, Ryan, and Risha from Decoders all joined this team to try to help turn it around. We just ended up eating free pizza with the community and hanging out. Eventually, we ran out of money and just moved on. You can't give away pizza and burritos all day, every day, and think you're going to be sustainable.
Yeah, no, no, it won't work. Not unless you have a big revenue stream to keep doing it.
There was no revenue
And
stream. It was literally starting to come out of our pockets. But
well,
we were
see, and
having fun. We were
th-
vibing. We were all
that's what it's
fat.
about, right? Like that's real. That's where the like I think even our team goes. We're asking us the other day is are doughboys sustainable? Fuck if we know. Like, pardon my language. I'm just probably should
No,
be
you can
PC.
curse, man. This is
Okay.
YouTube, man. Do your thing.
I was like, fuck if we know. Like, to be honest, like, I believe we can. It's $200 a month. It's not bad. Like, it's not that big of an expense in my eyes, like, compared to what our dev work and other things are. And it gives back to the community. There's a funny thing is there's one guy who is his single-handedly bought, I think, 4 or 5 of them now. So he gets airdropped like $80 to $100 a month, like for his pizza. And so
That's
like
crazy.
he's got a pizza a week with what he's holding.
Yeah.
And so
That's the best utility, man. I'm not
food,
joking.
right? And
Feed
so,
me. My NFTs are feeding me. Let's go.
hey, that people post pictures of their pizza. I absolutely love it. Alex, there he is. He has 4. So yeah, I think I airdropped him $80 this
Bro.
past month, and so he should be eating good on pizza. Um, he's like this, but
He's just handing them out to the
Dio,
homeless. I get it, man. He's giving back.
he's a good guy. He's a good guy. I like to good people. And Dio, so Dio is the doughboy. So it's even Dio's Pizzeria, everything. So Dio has one of those uni pizza ovens. He shares that he cooks pizza all the time. And so he had the idea of doing this. And I'm like, heck yeah. Like we had the seals, that was a fun idea. Then we had traveling skull. So like we have these sub collections inside of our main collection. So there's like traveling skulls. Actually, I'll share some alpha. They're gonna hate me for this.
Uh-oh.
I
Theo,
can't
close
upload images
your
here.
ears.
Can I? Can I? How can I? Is there a way to upload an image for them to see?
Yeah, you can share
Oh
your
wait, right there.
screen,
Add
and I can
source.
yeah, and I can approve the share screen. Theo, should I
Okay.
approve it? How much money for me not to approve it? How about a pizza?
It's gonna cost you a pizza. Okay, let me just
That'll
open.
be one pepperoni pizza for me not to share the screenshot. No, I haven't seen you send it yet. Have you tried to
No,
share?
no. I'm making sure I'm not giving away any other alpha on my
Okay, yeah,
screen.
yeah. Just let me know when you're ready. I
Okay.
can I can actually preview it before I send it.
Oh
He's
wait,
like, no.
wait, wait. No, no. Share this window. Okay. Okay, there. I don't know if you can improve it.
Yeah. Can you guys see that?
Okay. All right. So we do fun things. And so I wanted to drop some alpha on this. Adio's going to be mad. I'm sorry, bud. I wanted to drop alpha
He's
on
not gonna
this
talk to you for
because
a week.
I'm sorry. He had this idea as well. I absolutely love it. So we're currently on season 4 in TTCC, which is the cartoon season. There is a lot of we try and put a spin every single season on something fun. So we did have a one of one created, which I believe this one is Ralph. And so yeah, this one's Ralph. So we had a one of one created. These will randomly show up in an adventure. It will not be
Nice.
announced. It will not be in the wallet until the adventure has like 30 minutes left.
Oh
I will
wow.
be, yeah, so it's gonna show up because people will go in and look up our wallet address to see if it's in there. So like you're not gonna know that it's whether it's in there or not until the last 30 minutes. So there's there's going to be a lot of neat stuff like this happening with our adventures as well. Again, we like to do stuff in a very fun way. Um, and so we also put mystery boxes in adventure, which give you a chance if you collect 3 of them, which I believe 2 holders have, you trade them in and we have you a custom one of one minted and drawn. So it's really fun. So again, just wanted to share some alpha. There
I'm
is
gonna take it off the screen
yeah,
because I
I was
mean,
quitting it.
and I mean, you could say I like monkeys, man. I have my little monkey here that hangs out with me all the time.
I love
But
it.
yeah, he's a little. It was given to me a long time ago when I was a musician. I was touring. It was given to me by a fan, and it used to hang on my guitar bag, and it's been that to every state in the United States with me everywhere I've gone. So now it just hangs out on my mic because I'm retired from music. So, but before we get too carried away, because I know you got
Oh, yeah.
you're really constricted on time, and we've almost closed in on the hour already because we're
Yeah,
having
yeah.
fun hanging out. I want to know about your future in Web3. Like, where do you see yourself in the future? Do you see yourself staying in NFTs, building things like Flux, building things like, stay? Of course, you're going to stay with your projects, but I mean, what's the future hold for you, man? Like, what do you see the future in NFTs and the crypto space? And as a founder and a builder, where do you see yourself?
So that I absolutely love this question actually, because I think about this often because it's my driving force in waking up every day and sitting down and continuing to do this. It's some days it's not easy, yeah, because it's a lot of work. Everything you're doing is to try and make these people's investments increase. And so, but for me, what's helped me continue and not have as many hard days as I feel some may, is that I sit back and I think we're going to be that project that people are going to remember. We're going to bridge the gap, and it's one of the reasons I love Shredded Apes, and we've been working on stuff in on Flux. But my goal is to bridge the gap of the Web 2, Web 3, kind of like Carlos, like most people's goal. Like but doing it our own way. There's room. It's so new. Like Web3 is so new, and the gap bridge between Web 2 and Web 3 just hasn't been completely finalized. Like no one's had such a smooth, clean transition. And I have to give a shout out because I saw him in here. The Remedy is doing just that with Apex and the Puff Valley store that he's building. But our my goal is to again have the same thing, uh, to have a bridge between Web 2 and Web 3 that's just so seamless that the onboard is easy. And it's not always about the NFT, but it's about other things that the NFT can provide to the Web 2 world. The Web 2 world is art. And so we have a lot of ideas around that and how to bridge that art into Web 2. And so, so again, it's something that we're working on. We have some ideas running in the background, But again, same thing with my goal just in general in Web3 is to keep putting out products that are obtainable. Like most of the time, people want so much for their services because it's not built in a way that makes it easy. Like for us, I can onboard a project in less than 20 minutes onto an adventure. Same thing for Soul Suites. I onboarded 10 projects in under an hour for Soul
I,
Suites today.
I saw.
Yeah,
I saw the chats, man. I'm like, this guy's a beast.
yeah, yeah. I sat down and I get it done because it's like on top of that, I Dio gave me a great idea the other day, or maybe it was Carlos. No, it was Carlos. Sorry. Dio gave me an idea a while back, but I was telling Carlos, I was like, man, between Shredded Apes, between all the Soul Suite wallets, between my wallet, between TTC wallets, between all the wallets I have in my one Phantom browser, I had like 30 wallets, like not even kidding you. And I was like, Phantom needs to create like folders to where you can organize your wallets into folders, and you click on it and it shows only the
Yes.
wallets in that folder. I was like, that would
Yes.
be brilliant. And Carlos goes, why don't you set up different browsers? I was like, Chrome profiles. Like it clicked when Carlos said that to me. And so I took a day and I organized. So I have like 7 different profiles on my Chrome browser. And so now it's like a bunch, and they're all different color windows. So it just makes it easy. Like oh, that color is this, that color is this. So I color core, and that's how I stay organized. So I'll be doing a bunch of different stuff while I'm doing that. So I was submitting stuff and pulling hashes. I would be working on minting traits and setting up the adventure. Like it, yeah,
Dio said that
yeah,
was
Dio told,
me.
yeah, he did. He told me about doing it with my personal wallet and the TTCC. I didn't think to do it for 7 different profiles until Carlos was like, use your browser as your folder. And so now it's all organized. Shredded Apes is yellow, TTCC is blue because it's my favorite color. Soul Suites is purple. Like they're all organized to their color. And then mine is like the standard Chrome. So
No,
like my
that's
personal wallet.
I was just bitching to one of the people in my server the other day about how I hate because I send out stuff to free for people all the time. So my Phantom wallet, my recents, is just a bunch of random wallets, and then I have my own other wallets and other, like my other ledgers and stuff that aren't in that wallet that I have to either copy and paste or I have to look through 50, 60 recent wallets to find. And I'm like, why can't I just like do what I can do in Soulflare? I can just name a wallet and I can just
You
put
can. You
ledger.
can do that in Phantom.
Can you
You can do
teach
that.
me?
Yeah.
Teach me. I need some
Yeah.
information today, man.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know you can
Uh,
because I'm literally like, I looked through everything. I was like, why can't I name a freaking? Why can't I save a wallet in Phantom? Like, what am I missing here? I was
so
like,
you go
I can,
to
I can set up like 12 ledger wallets. I can do all this other crazy shit, but I can't figure out how to name a freaking save a freaking recent wallet. You'll save my life, dude, because I literally send stuff between ledgers and other accounts, and I'm always moving stuff around and it pisses me off. Well, while you're looking for that, man, I just want to say anybody go on the Breakpoint, the Coders team will be there. Vince and Epiphany will be out there, and make sure you find them and you can get one of these cool pins. I don't know, you can see it focused in. I actually have one, but if you're at Breakpoint, go find one of these, get one, and hopefully you see I said Reaper because I see him in the chat. You see Epiphany and Vins and get yourself a free pin. I don't know how many they have to give out, but tell them Jazz said, give me a pin. um, yeah, definitely have to get some more knowledge here. That's what I love about the space. I'm always
it
learning.
looks like it is on the
Dropbox is telling me
phone.
in the chat. See, I feel like a noob. You know what's funny is,
Yeah,
and
it's only on the phone though. You can't do that in the web browser, and that's what I wanted to
I
verify before
only
I spoke
work
up Dropbox. Yeah,
I only
do it on
work
your
on
phone.
PC.
Yeah.
I don't do
I
crypto on my
gotcha.
phone. I don't do crypto on my phone. Just it's not my thing. Everything's
No, I get it. I get it. I
I
have
have
to in
computers
my case.
everywhere,
So,
so it's like I don't do anything on my
well, I got kids under 8, so I have to like I'll be out
valid.
at an event and I'm like, oh, I got to turn on an adventure.
Yeah,
Perfect
valid,
thing to
dude.
do on my phone.
Valid,
And you can
bro.
now set up ledgers with phone via Bluetooth. If you have the Bluetooth, Theo
I
was telling me
do.
about it. So
Yeah,
yeah, you can set it up with your phone now with
Soulflare
Phantom without
works
having to
better with
connect
the
it.
Bluetooth for sure, than
Oh,
Phantom.
really?
I believe it
Yeah.
does. I think Soulflare is a little better for the Bluetooth.
I, see, I personally like Soulflare more than Phantom, but I feel like Phantom, like I've already used it. It's so integrated in everything that I
See, I
haven't just
started with
taken the time to
Soulflare. I
switch.
hated Phantom in the beginning.
Ah.
I hated it. I
Really?
always used Soulflare. Soulflare was my OG wallet. I used Soulflare so much. And then they did like the multi-send. They just put that in there so you could send like a whole collection in one transaction, just like
What?
Foxy send. You could do that in Soulflare. You
Oh,
could literally
wait,
click
you
the whole
can?
collection and hit click and send the whole collection.
Okay, I'm switching. I'm
So
switching.
if you have like 40 of the
I
same
use
NFT,
dandies every day.
yeah. So if you have like 40 of the same NFT, say if I want to send all my rascals from one wallet to another, it's just like Foxy sent. I just go and I click the actual collection icon and I just hit send to the wallet and it will send all of them at one shot. You'll still get charged the transaction fee per just like you would anything else. But yeah, if Phantom ever integrated that, I'd probably never use my Soulflare again, but I do use my
Oh, that's
Soulflare a
interesting.
lot. Yeah,
See, I
it's
like the
funny.
feature, but if there's a transaction fee, so I found for me, I found a workaround. So I transfer because of our adventures in creating the hash list and stuff like that, and the tools that I use. I have to move NFTs around from wallet to wallet a lot, and I've found that like FFX, Foxy Send, and Magic Eden, they all charge a transaction fee in Sol.
Yeah.
Dandies created a bulk transfer tool that sends in bonk. So there is no
Nice.
Sol tax fee at all. But what I found out is I can buy zero point 0.1 Sol and convert it to bonk, and I can send hundreds and hundreds of NFTs for zero point 0.1 Sol, to where if I was doing it with Foxy and then with Magic Eden, and I was spending much more. It was like zero point 0.3 Sol to transfer 200 NFTs. And so I could transfer 5, 6, 700 NFTs for zero point 0.1 Sol converted to bonk with dandies.
That's dope,
So
man. That's a
if
good
you're
hack.
always
That's a
transferring,
good
it's a
hack.
cheaper way to do it to save you Solana fees, because they don't charge you Sol and dandies. It's only bonk.
And Dandy's is a great another project. If you guys aren't familiar with Dandy's,
Yeah.
hook up Gentle Monkey, and I know our boy Circus just joined the team over there. Great team, great product, great community. I actually just joined them. That's why I'm promoting them a little bit recently.
No, they're good people. They're
I've been
good people.
sleeping. I sleep on a lot of NFTs because I kind of sold them all to get back into crypto, and I'm too busy with the coders. I just focus on my jelly stuff, and then that's it. I don't really do much, but I win a little money on gambles. I try to support other communities. Maybe I'll have to sweep some TTCCs here soon. Next time you see me
Happy to
cash
have you.
out, next time you see me cash out something big on gambles, I'm coming.
All right. I'll be looking forward to it. I'll have a
Yeah,
trade or two ready for you. I have some of the rare ones in my wallet still. So if you pull a sweep, I'll pull out some rare trades for you.
I'm gonna be honest. Back in the day when I first met you guys, I don't know if you remember, but I used to be homies with Alika and I used to run with other projects.
Yeah.
We used to be in spaces. I actually bought a crap ton of TTCCs when they were like point 0.2, but I am an investor and I'm a profit taker. And I sold them all when you guys went to like 1.5 Sol, and I took my
Smart.
profits because
Got 5x.
I had too many communities I was in. I wasn't really paying attention to what you guys were building. I heard you guys in a space from the very beginning days. This is probably back like 2022, mid 2022. I don't know the times, but it feels like it was like maybe last summer. Does that sound right? Your floor was
Yeah.
like point 0.2 ish,
Yeah, we
0.25 ish.
actually dropped to 0.019. So there are people that
Yeah,
will see like
that's when I
the
bought.
profit is huge. Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
that's
at
when I
point
bought.
zero 0.09.
I
And so
bought like I could probably find it in my Soulflare wallet, but I probably bought like 20 or 30, and then I
I
sold them
thought your
all.
name was in TTCC at one point.
But
I remembered
yeah,
your name
it's
being in
back in the
there.
day. But listen, I'm a profit taker. I'm an investor.
Hey,
I don't get too personal with my NFTs. I sold all my D guys. I sold all my FFF. I sold it all and took profits because that's just what you're supposed to do. Ryan, I'm talking to you, Ryan. He doesn't sell anything. He's on our team. He'll tell you. But yeah, I don't want to digress too much, man. I want to bring it back to you, folks.
oh yeah.
I know you got stuff to do. You got a family and you got some things going on tonight. I just want to thank you for taking the time first to do this because I know time is so valuable, especially in your situation, being a founder, running projects, building stuff, having kids, everything. And, so thank you so much for that. And I just want to applaud to you, man, and you just say, man, I appreciate you in this space. I appreciate what you and your team are building. I might not be in your communities. I might not be there, but I'm supporting you in the space. I will always support builders. I always support positive people in the space. So I just want to say, man, super thankful that you are in the NFT space with us. And that's one of the reasons I want to have you on the show, man. So thank you for that. Just
Oh,
want to
of
say that.
course, of course. I'm happy to be here. I think back the when we were working with W3 before TDC first started to kind of wrap things up. I think I tell Dio this baffles me every single day because before they worked with us, they took us through an interview, and the question was, "How long do you think you'll want to do this? How long do you think you'll want to run a project?" And I was like, "Do you set a number?" He's like, "Well, do you only want to be around for 2 years? Like, do you think you'll accomplish everything you want to in 2 years and bounce out?" Like, what do you mean? Like, you run a project, you're running a project. Like, it's like starting a business saying, "Thanks, guys, I'm out." Like, why do you do that? And so I'm in this for the long run. Like there, I will continue until TTCC is, where the D gods were, three, four, five, six, 700 soul. Like, I have no doubt in what we're building. And just like Carlos, you stop looking at the floor price, you stop looking at, the listings, you stop looking at all of that. Like when someone drops a grail, it bothers you, but then you're like, okay, well, someone got a nice grail in the community for cheap, so you look at the positive there. But like, all I can say is, I don't plan on stopping. There's so many ideas, and we'll always succeed. Like that's the type of person I am, and the team that we have. Like we have our days, but we always show up, and we know that as long as we keep showing up and building towards what we're building, we'll be successful. Like it's for us, we started with less than $1,000 after mint, and we've now grown to where we've been able to spend thousands and thousands and develop our stuff thanks to a wonderful community, thanks to being able to sell our tools and help other projects. And so again, you have us for the long haul. Like we're not going anywhere, and I'll continue doing what I'm doing, but we're going to grow. So you're still early. If you want to check us out, we're doing a lot of fun stuff. We have a fun adventure tomorrow that's taking place. As I mentioned, the TTCC seals kidnapped some so deads. They've been scattered throughout the blockchain, so you guys are going to get to go and try and rescue them. So if you own a TTCC or so dead, you're going to get to go on an adventure tomorrow. It'll be really fun. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff coming. Also, a small shout out for Shredded Apes. They'll have an adventure tomorrow as well. So if you have a Shredded Ape, they'll be doing a little rewind, and I'll share more on that later for them. But yeah,
And I also
uh,
did see in the community too that you guys launched adventures with our friends over at Stallions today too, right? So you launched a white
yeah.
label with them as well.
No,
So I
not a
mean,
white label. We launched a trial. They're on our
oh,
trial.
okay, okay.
They haven't purchased it yet, but if we're showing them the potential. So as I said, we'll show you the potential and teach you how to use it. And so Corb is one of our other team members. Huge shout out to him. He has been handling every white label trial. Like I found out by Trigger saying, "Wait, Stallions got adventures," and I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, that has to be
Yeah,
Corb. Corb's working
yeah.
his butt off. He's showing people what it's like, and that's our way of advertising. Like, hey, look what it is. You obviously now heard it. You thought they bought it. Like again,
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's how
it,
it works in this space. It's
yep,
networking and it's putting out quality products that are helping communities. And that's what's done you guys so well is that exact thing. You've been putting out
yep,
quality products, helping communities and projects. I mean, projects are able to help their community out in such ways and so fast and so easy just by using Flux in their Discord. Like I said, you could do so many things with it. So I encourage everybody listening. If you don't know anything about Flux, you don't know anything about Fawkes and what he's building, check them out. Find them on Twitter. The link should be in the bio. If you need information to your decoders, let me know. I will link you to them. We'll get you to that. But definitely check out what these guys are doing. That's why we do these shows, these deep dives, because there's people like Fawkes and his team out here that are doing things, and you guys probably don't even know about them. All you see is the guy bitching on Twitter for engagement that's making thousands of dollars off of you crying in his comments. So we want to get away from that and get back to back in the builders, back in the positive people, and changing the space for everybody because we're all here. Let's all make the best of it. You know what I'm saying? And we got to support people like Fawkes and these positive powerhouses out here that are doing things, and they're doing it selfishly. They're doing it not for themselves. They're doing it for the community. They're doing it for the space. So much love to you, Fawkes. Do you have anything else you want to say before I cut this off for today?
just that I appreciate everyone. As I always say, I think the DJ Khaled gif is known in my server. Just know I appreciate you. I really do. Every single holder, I appreciate you and your faith in what I'm building and trusting me to continue to bring you profits. I'm glad you took profits when you did, Jazz. That's the big reason we get into this is we want to make some money. And so I've made profits. Mine's just been in DGen raffles. Like I'm a raffle DGen. So no, take your profit, guys, when
Of
you
course.
can. But thank you for supporting what we're doing in such a large manner. I know there's some holders like Stace and Z Cry and a few of them that have over 100. So like their bag's sitting at 200 soul in our champ. So I'm very thankful to have holders. They could be holding half of a D God or something right now. So again, a huge shout out for having support and knowing that I'm going to make those numbers climb even higher. I'm happy to be working with my team at Shredded Apes, and if any of you guys showed up to support, I appreciate it. But yeah, it's great. I'm going to be here. You guys now kind of have a face to a name, so I'll be more inclined to share my face some more as we do like Discord calls and stuff like that. So
Yeah, maybe we could do another show where we get your whole team on and we
that would
actually
be
talk a little
awesome.
more in depth about the products like Flux, for example. It's something we could set up post mint for sure, man. We're going to be scheduling
Maybe
shows.
we could set up like a live adventure. Like we
Hey,
start it for an hour and then we allow, we can set something up. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll think of something. We can make this fun. Like
yeah, man.
I've got some
Hey,
ideas.
I'm all about anything that's good for everybody. You know, if we're going to be helping people and we're going to be having fun and we're going to be providing some educational value and helping the communities, I'm all for it, man. And like I said, what Decoders is for this. We're building content, we're helping communities, we're building something to help content creators, help our communities. We're building a community of communities inside Decoders, and we're just trying to help everywhere. We're trying to bring everybody together, and we're just trying to, bring out that educational and spread positivity and let people know about other people like yourself and your team. So I'm all for it, man. Let's do something down the line. So it might not be the last time you see Fawkes on the channel. You might even get to meet the rest of the team in the future. And lastly, I just want to say to the decoders, people watching on the app, collect your views, get them locked in. The
Yeah,
dev
get that money.
the dev is pushing something. He should be done soon. And then we're full blast of mint, guys. We're full blast. Everything should be running. We're just putting in one last measure of security, and then it's going to be fun. We got something cool that's planned. I'm looking forward to when it starts kicking in. We start seeing people, filter themselves out. We've been battling some
I can't wait.
multi-wallet people, so they got us. I mean, they could try to exploit us, but we're gonna play right back. I like games, so game on. That's all I gotta say. But end of the day, we got you. Much love for everybody. Collect your views. Fawkes, thank you so much, man. Look
Thank
forward to
you.
seeing the rest of the stuff you build in this space. Um, see
A
you guys in
sincere
the next
thank
one.
you to
Hey,
having me. I appreciate it. I really do. Again, it caused me to get out of my shell a little bit. So thank you for reaching out. The fact that I know you so well from the Jelly team is the reason I said yes. And so I'm excited to hear what you guys are doing with decoders. I'm going to go do some research on that as well. But no, I really do appreciate you having me. And I appreciate everyone that showed up. So yeah, thank you. I'm going to go ahead
yes.
and close out with my cam and my mic now. So thanks, everyone.
We'll see you guys. See you in the next one.